go. Answer the phone.
She tapping on my line everywhere I go. And my stories and she liking all my videos. She got a little stalk in her, but she pretty though. She know, she know. She tapping on my line everywhere I go. And my stories and she liking all my videos. She got a little stalk in her, but she pretty though. She know, she know. Hitting my DM with subliminals. Spitting fire like Scorpion, she'll finish you. Put my games on Billy, my collar pop. She sent a pic of them cakes, man, you gotta stop. It's all cap when she G'ing all them lames. They be caught up in her game. Cash apping for her bills and her nails done. Chill, son. She got you caught up in your feelings. Keep it real, son. Fresh. Her number block hitting up my line. Dropping mad G, she be trying. She 30 plus, still playing games. Man, my method lit, ma bring the pain. I was gon' hit her with a linker. She too goofy, so I hit her with the pizza. This type of blah happens all the time. But her friend cute though, you know the vibes. She tapping on my line everywhere I go. She had my stories and she liking all my videos. She got a little stalk in her, but she pretty though. She know, she know, she know, she know. She tapping on my line everywhere I go. She had my stories and she liking all my videos. She got a little stalk in her, but she pretty though. She know, she know, she know. My ex-girl hitting up my math with emojis in the AM. Song links, hoping I'ma play 'em. Nah, I'm good, I don't go back. T.O.N.E-z ain't a sucker for love, but you should know that. I make a major moves, I ain't playing, y'all. Learn the resume, I ain't hating, y'all. Nope. Me and you is over, that's the game, y'all. It's on to the next, and that's lame, y'all. I'm good, never caught her with them birds. While you fools stay caught up with their words. You got your mind right, mind you getting served. If I ain't feeling you, get the curve. She tapping on my line everywhere I go. And my stories and she liking all my videos. She got a little stalk in her, but she pretty though. She know, she know, she know, she know. She tapping on my line everywhere I go. And my stories and she liking all my videos. She got a little stalk in her, but she pretty though. She know, she know, she know, she know. T.O.N.E-z. Low, low.
All right, what's going on, y'all? This is the Loner Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Solo. And tonight, man, hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Usually I say I got a special guest, you know, shit like that. And, you know, it's been true. But I'm gonna tell you this, tonight, man, I'm gonna put 3 of them in a special guest tonight. You know what I'm saying? Goes by the name T.O.N.E.z. And people listening, a lot of y'all probably already know who that is. But for those of y'all been living under a rock, you know, and don't know, you're gonna find out tonight, motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? So T.O.N.E.z, man, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, bro. This really means a lot to me and my podcast personally, man. I appreciate you accepting the invite.
Man, peace and love, my brother, man. I'm honored. I take time out. I'm appreciative, man. I'm appreciative to anyone who pays attention to anything that I do. So massive love to you, my brother. You already. Come on, man.
Absolutely, man. But speaking of paying attention to what you do, bro, Jesus Christ,
Yes,
man, the shit. Let me tell you guys this, man. This dude has had a hell of a run, bro. Let me tell you this. So he's a rapper, a musician, song and screenplay writer, and an actor. So you just jumping your fucking heads around that shit. This dude does all that, you know what I'm saying, at one time. So this guy's touched on about all the aspects of the industry that you can touch on. He's involved in all of that. You know, his roots, born and raised the Bronx, New York. So you already know Mecca of hip hop. So he was already in that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually cool as hell to know this fun fact about him as well, bro. His brother's actually Special K of the seminal rap group Treacherous 3.
Yes, sir.
So wrap your fucking heads around that. For all you hip hop people that say you love hip hop, wrap your heads around that shit. You know what I'm talking about? That is all that in itself. That's the whole interview in itself, right there. Just that one line. You know what I'm saying? But he's also, man, you know, he's also actually put himself in position, you know, outside of his family and his roots and stuff like that. And you know, he actually actually got Emmy nominated for co-writing the song Long Hard Times to Come from the award-winning FX series Justified. Now that ain't no small feat, bro, because I heard the song, and it's a theme song for the show, right? The actual theme song for that show.
Yes. Yeah, the theme song for the show. Yes. Jeez. Definitely.
So that shit plays every time. Okay, you see that's
anytime you hear that show, the first 30 seconds, you're gonna hear my voice. How about that?
Jesus, man. All right, so I look, you know what, damn it, I'm gonna do it like this, bro. I like to keep it raw and uncut on my shit, bro. So I'm not gonna give them all this shit up front. What I'm gonna do, we just touched on those big points, but what I'm gonna do, bro, what I like to do personally, I like to get to know the artists that I'm dealing with on my show, and I like my listeners to get to know them. So I want to start from the beginning. I want to know about T.O.N.e-z before music, before entertainment. Growing up as a Bronx, New York kid, how was that for you? What was it like? What was your experiences? Just give us the rundown, bro.
As far as the Bronx, New York?
No, as you coming up in the Bronx, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, my mom's and them moved to I'm the one that was born in the Bronx. My brothers and them were born more in Manhattan. But I could give it to you like this. I didn't understand it because I was a child at the times. So I didn't understand what it meant to live in New York. But I will say by the time I was like, man, I'm gonna say like 10, between 8 and 10 years old, when you able to formulate a sentence that makes sense. You know, I started understanding what New York City, a little bit of New York City. So what I'm gonna tell you is that just aside from hip hop, aside from anything else, you know, I'm the youngest of six kids. You know, my sister's the oldest, and then there's 5 boys. So let that, like my man Country Wayne said, let that sizzle in your spirit.
Yeah, shout out to your mom for that. Yeah, shout out to your mom for that one, bro. That couldn't have been easy.
But just so you know, my mom's and everybody, they from the South.
Okay.
So which 90% of the people in New York are. So I'm gonna tell you, man, just so you know, man, New York, when I was growing up in the 80s, whoo.
Oh man.
No. It was a fun time until that thing came through. CRACK. When that came through, that was a whole other thing. But as far as just on the music side and just having fun in the streets and hip hop, it was probably the best time of my life was in the 80s, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you.
Explain to me why that was exactly. What was it about that specific time that was just so fun to you?
Because you gotta understand, when you were a kid, right? Even the youngins now, when you were a kid and things are new, it's like a 5-year-old kid learning how to, like, I don't know. The first time they ever seen Scooby-Doo or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, It's something new and fresh and like, wow. So as far as I'm concerned, I got a chance to understand, and I was drawn to hip hop. I got a chance to understand hip hop as a kid on some like, oh man, what is this? So I'm gonna go directly to hip hop because I could tell you about toys and going to school and all that. All that was cool, but hip hop is what blindsided me and smacked me in the side of my temple.
Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it then, man. Tell us about, because you was up in the 80s, bro, where hip hop was actually, that's where it started getting its roots in the game. And I want to hear
man, I was a baby, and my brother, Special K, from the Treacherous 3, which is T.O.N.E-z, LA Sunshine, and DJ Easy
Holy
Easy Lee, right? That they're all their extended family. When I first heard hip hop, man, I was like, I thought that it was an argument. I thought they were arguing at a party because my brother K came home one day, and I'm a super youngin', you know, in the 80s, and he's like, yo, you know, he's playing this cassette tape, and I'm like, yo, why y'all arguing? Because all I heard was, oh, I thought they were screaming at people, but what I didn't understand that was hip hop, and it was actually T.O.N.E-z on the mic, and I said, oh man, you know, like, what is that? He was like, nah, that was a show we did. You know what I'm saying? So that was my first introduction to hip hop. in the 80s as a super elementary school youngin', super elementary school, like, you know what I mean? So just to give y'all an understanding of how the first time I heard hip hop was when I was like a baby. I'm listening to T.O.N.E-z and my brother Special K, and they're performing live before they had a record deal. Let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to give you the whole, man, New York, drugs, the hood, but y'all already know all that. I'm giving you my memories of, you know, back then, as far as like growing up in the Bronx. So that's my memory as far as what meant the most to me.
Wow, that's a hell of a fucking memory though, bro. You talking about T.O.N.E-z was your introduction into actually knowing what hip hop. Come on, man. That's not no light memory to have, bro. T.O.N.E-z is like one of, come on, man. So
now Mo D's the homie, man. Like, don't get me wrong, it was my brother K first.
Okay.
Then T.O.N.E-z.
Oh, got you.
You know what I mean? Yeah. My brother Special K was rapping around the crib and singing Shalimar songs and all that. And then I understood about T.O.N.E-z and LA Sunshine.
So I want to ask you this, bro. So your brother being Special K, man, I want to know what was the exact moment that you realized that, damn, like you didn't look at him so much as like your brother anymore, but like, damn, this guy's Special fucking K right here. Like, when was that? When
man,
did you know that?
Listen, brother. Damn, man, you got amazing questions. To this day, I still be like, I like if he called me, right, or I call him. If he calls me and I see it's his number, I start rapping words from like one of his songs. How about that? Oh, so even though that's my big brother, I still view him like a fan. Like, yo,
oh shit. Okay.
I'm eating breakfast, so I'm on the phone with Special K from the Treacherous 3. But he knows this though. This is like, but he don't never be like, yo, go to the store for me or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Wow, he understands, but yeah, man.
So you're in fan mode of your brother. That's dope as shit, man.
Yeah, man. Like blood brother, not my brother from the hood. That's my brother. Wow. So majority of my style, majority of never my words, but my style, a lot of my sense of humor comes from him.
Damn, man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not just like, yo, that's my brother and I'm on my own. Nah, man. He encouraged me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the one, he took me to my studio. My very first studio appearance was INS Studios with him. My very first recording studio was with my brother K. How about that?
All right. So I want you, all right. So now that you said that, bro, I got to ask you this because now I'm curious. What was the fucking pressure like on your shoulders that day being in your first studio session with that caliber of an artist?
Well, I will say this. The ego, as far as me and K, are super high. So I was already on some, man, I'm the best ever. But I'm not better than him. And I'll say that to this day, that I'm not better than my brother K. But back then I'm like, man, I'm good enough. Right. So I wasn't like shy or, man, I hope he liked my rhymes. I was like, nah, I know I'm great. I'm not as great as him, but I'm great. And I still feel that to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never measure up to his lyrical skills. But to answer your question, I was like, man, I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
So you wasn't like freaking out like a lot of us would have been like, oh shit, I'm in a studio for the first time with Special K. You get the fuck out of here. Like, what I'm gonna do with this? Well, I would have been freaking out.
Well, because if you was his brother who, who shared, cereal with him and since y'all were, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different though. Right, if he was like an outsider, that's like when I, you know what I'm saying? Like when I first met Melly Mel, I was like almost, I didn't know if I was to say what's up or to bow down to the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That because Melly Mel is not my physical brother, but you know what I'm saying? I met Melly Mel, but I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I was just curious about it, bro, because I know people in New York,
Yeah.
especially the Bronx, bro, back in them days.
Yes, sir.
The man, the competitiveness amongst artists back in them days, you'll never probably get that again in hip hop as far as how serious they took that competitiveness.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
And
you're right
being
about that.
Special K being your brother, that's why I asked you about the pressure being in the studio, because I didn't know if he was the one, but like, I'm finna murder my brother right here on this song. It's over with. Like, I didn't know if it was like that.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, man. My brother K, man, to be honest with you, he would like, he had moved to the West Coast back in the early 90s, and he bragged to Ice-T and Paul Abdul and all of these people, yo, my little brother, because I'm the youngest, like I said, of 6, man, he's the truth. And he would have my promo pictures on his wall. And so he's like, he always held me down. So it was never like, I'm a schoolish little dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was more or less like, yo, when I first recorded out of his room, he had a 4-track. And when I first recorded out of his room, the first question he asked me, because I thought I was going to be in trouble. I thought he was going to be like, yo, you was in my room. Any other family, the little brother that goes into the older brother's room, they'll get in trouble. But K was like, yo, you was in my room? And I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. So his thing was, how the hell did you record what you recorded? I said, yeah, because I hang out with you in this room and I watch what you do. So it was never a problem. He was like, yo, man, you can come in here anytime you want when I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? Because when he was in there, he has a little shorty in there or something. But when he wasn't there, I was able to come in there. So it was never a problem. K's more like, man, I don't, man, you just, pass the baton kind of thing.
Wow, see that's cool as shit though, bro. Especially since, like I said, your brother being on that kind of legendary status that he's on, and and being his brother, I couldn't really understand it at first. Like, I guess the dynamic would be a little weird to us outsiders looking in. That's your blood brother, so y'all don't look at each other like. So it's weird to me because I'm an outsider looking in like that. That's fucking Special K right there, But that's cool, man. I didn't know. So he's a really down to earth, solid guy, man. I heard people say that before about him, but yeah, that's cool, man. So I guess he kind of respected you being able to go in there by yourself and just learn off of watching him do what he did, and him not even being around and you learning how to record yourself. He probably really respected the fact that you was able to do it.
How he even knew what I was doing is our oldest brother, June, unfortunately, rest in peace, became a victim to the streets or whatever. But my brother June, God rest his soul, that he's the one that told my brother K, because I recorded like some lyrics over a Def Jam beat. I can't remember what the beat was. And he was like, yo, that's you? My oldest brother, June. The oldest out of the 6 is my sister, but out of the boys is my oldest brother, June. He was like, yo, that's you? And I was like, yeah. And I thought I was gonna get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I thought K was gonna be mad at me, like, what you doing in my room? But June was the one that said, yo, K, you gotta check out T.O.N.E-z shit. And then that's how that happened.
Oh, wow.
That's how K even heard or even knew I was writing rhymes. He had no idea I was writing rhymes back then.
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I mean?
So Big Bro was looking out there. He was trying to put you on, so.
Yeah, man. My big brother, who's unfortunately not here anymore, but he was the one that was like, yo, you got to check out T.O.N.E, man, because he's the first one to ever hear me rap.
Oh, wow.
Period, was my brother June. And then he told K, yo, because I'm June's little brother, but K's June's little brother too. And he was like, yo, you got to check him out. And that's how that happened.
Oh,
but I don't want to dwell too much on that because we got so much, we got a lot.
Right. So, but I heard you mention, was it Melly Mel earlier, right? So,
oh man, Melly Mel.
Yeah, so do you want to tell me did you meet him, or how was that? How did you even come across Melly Mel, bro?
You got the perfect question. As far as Melly Mel goes, right? I'm like, you gotta understand, I'm in elementary school, right?
Right.
Melly Mel made the Messes, New York. This is like late 80s. Man, when I met Melly Mel, my brother K took me to Sugar Hill Records.
Oh shit!
Right? I probably shouldn't have went, but he took me out of school. You know, that's back in the days on a Lolo. I can't get a spanking now. I love my mother to pieces, but if anything, she won't cook what I ask her to cook. But other than that, she won't spank me. But Melly Mel, you know, I'm in Sugar Hill Records, and this is when Sugar Hill was kind of like pretty much about to be gone, and about the time Naughty by Nature was. Well, they wasn't Naughty by Nature at the time. They were called a New Style. And they were probably going to sign over there a couple of years later, but we'll get into that later. And I'm chilling at Sugar Hill Records with my brother K, who took me out of school to do this, which I didn't complain. And I'm in the lobby and I'm hearing this big, deep voice like, hey, yo, K, man, yo. I'm hearing this shit and I'm going, yo, that's Melly Mel. I'm losing my mind. So Melly Mel comes out in the live and he goes, hey, yo, man, what's up, man? Melly Mel, what's up? And I don't know if I peed. I don't know if I fell. I can't even remember. Because you got to understand, this is like, I'm a baby. And I'm like, oh, shit, it's Melly Mel.
Right.
And so I got a chance to meet Melly Mel that one time. But you got to understand, I got a chance to meet Melly Mel when he did The Message, New York, all of, man, come on, man. It's Melly Mel, man.
So that was the pinnacle of, when you met him, he was at the pinnacle of his shit.
I met Melly Mel and I felt like I was the worst MC ever. Let that sink in.
Right.
You know I don't give a
sense.
damn how great you think you are. You
Right.
meet Melly Mel, you're going to be like, yo, I don't think I'm that good, man. I got to go back to the drawing board.
Fucking right, man. Like, yeah, that, man, come on, bro. I would have probably peed my pants for real meeting that dude.
You know what I'm saying?
And
but that's number two. Number one would be my brother K. I thought to this day, K is like the best MC ever.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how the fuck I don't even know how the hell you even was able to establish this is how dope you are as an artist. Let me just get this out there to you. But this is how dope you are as an artist and as a man yourself, is that you was able to establish your own footing, being in that box with them legendary people like that around you, bro. Like that is a
man. We talking about my brother K, Melly Mel. We're gonna fast forward. I know we're gonna get into a lot of things, but I gotta fast forward for you. We talking about Melly Mel, Curtis Blow. We talking about Kane, LL, KRS-One. I was right there when KRS-One did when the beat for the Bridge Is Over from KRS-One was being made by Said G from the Ultramagnetic MCs. I'm a baby, damn near, and I was not supposed to be outside, but I was being babysitted, you know what I'm saying, by one of my brothers. And I'm sitting in Said G's bedroom, you know what I'm saying? And it's me, and all of a sudden, me and my brother, and one of my brothers, and another cat, and who comes in the room? KRS-One, D-Nice, and Miss Melody, God rest her soul. And my man Said G is playing the beat, programming it for The Bridge Is Over. It's not out yet. KRS didn't lay the vocals down yet. Now I'm supposed to be in school the next day, and I'm like, one of my brothers like, yo, you know, come with me. He was babysitting me, but he took me out. He wasn't supposed to. But I'm sitting there like a little kid looking at Said G like he's Iron Man. Like, yo, this is Said G from the Ultramag, and he's programming. You know, he's playing the beat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's playing the beat to Bridge Is Over. So, yeah, man, I've been around a little bit.
Yeah, but see, I just wanted to mention to you, bro. I want you to, because you probably already know this, but I want to say it to you anyway. That just goes to prove how much of a dope artist you are yourself, to be able to establish yourself with all that shit going on around and attached to you, bro. That's not most artists would have crumbled and just got put right on the back burner and would have never got any kind of clout for themselves being around that type of legendary shit. So that is actually amazing on your part that you was able to build a foundation for yourself out of that. Damn, man.
Man, I tell you like this, and I'm not one of those, MCs from back in the days that hates on the new guys. I don't do that, man.
Right.
I listen to everything. If I hear something that catches my ear,
right,
I'm gonna point it out. So over the years, when I'm listening to MCs, we're gonna go from the 2000s. When I hear like J. Cole, I go, yo, J. Cole is nice.
right.
When I hear Kendrick, I'm like, yo, you know, he cool. I'm not the biggest fan, but he cool. Lyrically, like as far as the words go, cool. But I'm also up on Lil Durk. I'm up on all that. I'm not one of them cats from back then that's like, yo, these dudes is whack. And I don't do that, man, because I understand what it's like to come into a genre of music where wearing sneakers and there's no shoelaces, they look at you funny.
Right.
You understand? So I understand how me, Tretch, Special Ed, Kwame, Craig G, and MC Shan, I understand that we all went, and the main source, we all did shows where they was like, yo, why you ain't got no laces in your shoes? So when I see these kids coming out now the music is terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? They're not lyrically gifted, but they're in their own zone. So when I see them, I'm like, yo, you know, I see the kids of today and I'm going, man, you know, I ain't gonna hate on them, man. Musically, it's like blah, but they got their own zone. And they're in their own dress code. They're in their own lingo. So me being 146 or whatever I told you, I can't sit here and tell you like the lingo that they saying because I'm gonna sound stupid.
Right.
Just to let you know, like, I'm not one of those MCs that's hating on the current artists or future artists. I'm not like that because I understand what it's like to be on the outside looking in.
Right, bro. I mean, that's all respect, bro. Because I mean, you got to understand whenever you guys laid it down, and then in the 90s, those 90s artist legends laid it down. There wasn't a lot of damn places that the new 2000s could have carried that torch to. So what they did was actually kind of amazing. They morphed hip hop into this huge party because at that point hip hop was making a lot of damn money. And what I think happened was the celebratory aspect of hip hop becoming mainstream and turning into a big party. The 2000s kids had to find their lane, and so they took the successful part of hip hop and they implemented it into one big party. And so I kind of respect it because you guys laid such a foundation. A lot of them couldn't really compete with that. So they had to make their own lane. So in a way, I do respect it, even though I do think the lyrical capability should kind of get raised a little bit. But they did they did what they had to do, I believe, in my opinion.
No doubt. But here's what I'm gonna point out, though. I'm gonna point out something about the South, because there's this like myth going on that New York hates the South. That came from probably the Midwest or something. That didn't come from us, and it didn't come from y'all. Yo, let me tell you something, man. I remember telling because what people have to understand is before like hip hop became like the Carolinas and the Georgias and all that, I was a baby. Not a baby, but you know, pretty much a baby. But I was, you know, able to understand a little bit. And I remember going to family reunions, and you know, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Bainbridge, Georgia, all of that, and remembering hip hop was down there. So this misconception of the whole the New York hates the South. Let me tell you something, man. 80% of the people, of the black brothers and sisters in New York, came from the South. Let's put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I may have been born in New York, but there's a lot of us, tons of us that was born in the South. So the South is probably more in tune with hip hop than any other region after New York.
Right. After
Jersey, after the you know, up this way.
Right.
So I just want to point that out because I never wanted to. I hated the fact that the South got so much, you know, BS behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, the South knows what's up.
Yeah, I mean, every
you know what I mean?
got their
like
own flavor.
Yeah, man. No, it is your own flavor, but yo, we're up on it though.
Right. Well, you got to think about this. Go ahead.
We talk about Melly Mel. We talk about Treacherous 3. Around that time, there was somebody in the South doing what they were doing.
Right. I mean,
it may be a little late, but not 20 years late. It might have been like maybe a couple of months later, maybe a year later. But because as we up here, as the Bronx created hip hop, we got cousins.
Right.
So when we did the family reunions, I remember going to the family reunions and my brother K's playing Feel a Heartbeat before it came out, and my cousins are like, yo, what is this? And then when Feel a Heartbeat comes out with the Treacherous 3, it's on the radio, where my cousins were just like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So it's there, man. But yo, I don't want to dwell too much on that, man. We got
right. Well, yeah, I do actually want, because I heard you mention Ice-T earlier, bro. So
my man.
So yeah, I want to know about your interaction with Ice-T. Like, do you have any story from him that you could get into with us?
Yes. My man Ice-T, man. Shout out to Ice-T, man. Solid brother. Well, this was in the 90s, and I was actually outside. This is like a double, triple, quadruple story. So I'm gonna squeeze it all in one story.
All right.
I'm outside and I see Jay-Z and Dame Dash and a couple of cats from Original Flavor, which was a crew that Jay was rocking with. So my thing was, I know Jay so much that I could like tap him in the back of the neck or tap him on the left shoulder or the right shoulder, depending on what side I'm standing on. So I roll up behind Jay and I like kind of tap him in the back of the neck, and then I step to the left. And when I step to the left, Dame Dash looks over. Well, he wasn't Dame Dash at the time, but at the time he was just Dame. He looks over and goes, oh, that's just T.O.N.E-z like doing his thing. But when I did that, I didn't realize that Big was right in front of me. So I see Big, and Big's, you know, I'm like, yo, peace, what's up, man? And I didn't pay no mind to him because I didn't know who he was. And he was like, oh, yo, you did, you what a brother know, the assassinator. So he knew my songs, and I was like, yeah. He said, yo, man, you know, Biggie Smalls, you know, Party and Bullshit or whatever. I was like, oh, I know the song, but I didn't know he made it. I just heard the song in the hood. And so that's one of the stories that I could tell you that I had a chance to meet them dudes.
Holy shit, those ain't little guys, bro. You just said Jay-Z and Biggie in the same fucking story, my man.
No, but I know Jay. Like, I knew Jay. The reason why I was able to tap him on the back of I know Jay before I used to run into Jay. Me, Jay-Z, and Chubb Rock did shows together. Like, I was like on some little Bow Wow shit, but you know, but I know Jay. Like, you know, back then I'm saying I don't know him right now. I mean, I can't like call the dude, but now I know Jay. You know what I'm saying, from back then. And Big was the first and last time I ever had a chance to be in his presence was outside of a club in Manhattan, and he gave me, oh yeah, I know who you are. Like, he already knew about the joints I had out already.
Wow.
Which at the time didn't mean nothing because I got that all the time. But then fast forward, I was like, yo, Big knew who I was. So, you know what I'm saying? So that was cool.
Right. So, and that's when he just had Party and Bullshit circulating. So he was just pretty much getting started.
And I think he had the joint with Super Cat.
Holy
I think
shit.
him and Puff did the joint with Super Cat. But I knew Party and Bullshit. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't like it.
Oh shit.
I thought it was all right. Like, I was like, yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I didn't rock with Big until he did the remix to One More Chance.
Right, that shit was nasty.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with everybody. I know people might hate on me, but when I heard, first I talk about how I dress in this and diamond necklaces, Strex Lexuses, the sex is just immaculate. From the back, I get deeper. When I heard that, I said, yo, that dude is nasty.
He was different.
Like I thought he was. My brother K, Special K from the Treacherous 3, when he heard Kick in the Door,
oh shit.
K said, that's a rapping ass nigga.
For real.
Like, yo, who's this dude? I was telling K, like, yo, it's like this dude Biggie's on a whole, come on, man. Biggie's on another level with it.
Yeah, well, think about it. That's the only way you can become a legend, and you got 2 albums out. Is he was that good.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now, I will say I got, that's my only Biggie story. If you got a question, Ask me now, because I'm about to go into my Pac story.
Well, shit, man. I kind of want to get into when you met Ice-T, but I want to hear the Pac shit too.
Oh,
so
no. Ice-T, shit. All right, we're going to get to Ice-T. All right. Now, Ice, jeez, how I go from Ice to Biggie? I don't know how that happened. But Ice, my man Ice. All right, so my brother K, Special K, he moved to LA back in the 90s. He lived out there for a couple of years. And this is how cool my brother K is, man. He used to put pictures of me, not him. He would put pictures of me on his wall in LA. So when rappers like, I don't know, Def Jeff, Shock G, or whoever came through, they'd be like, yo, who's that? And either they know or they don't know. So here's what happened. K got really cool with Ice-T. Right? Like just super cool. I don't know what they did in LA, but I know one time I was at a MC Light album release party. Shout outs to MC Light. I was at an MC Light album release party and all hell broke loose for some reason. I don't know why, but it just did. And I was there by myself. I was there because I roll everywhere by myself, especially in New York. So I was at this spot. And some madness happened. I don't know what happened. There was a fight. Fat Joe was involved. De La Soul was involved. Whatever the hell. They was all defending themselves. And I was there in Special Ed. I was with Special Ed. If y'all know who Special Ed is, but I was with Special Ed. Absolutely. And all hell broke loose. I was inside the place and there was this balcony on top, like where all the fans could. It was a place where you could perform, but no one was performing, but it was just a big party. So there was this spot on top and I was looking down and I seen Fat Joe just putting in work. Like Fat Joe was flinging people all over the place. And I'm like, oh man, Joe's down there holding it down. And so me and Ed's like, yo, what we Special Ed's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, man, I don't know. And then I hear, hey, homeboy, hey, homeboy. And I turn around and I see Ice-T and he's like, yo, come here, man. And I'm like, yo, Ed, come over here. But for some reason, Special Ed just didn't come with me. I don't know why, but I walked over and he's there. And I look and I'm like, oh shit, it's fucking Ice-T from, you know what I'm saying? New Jack City. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, man, come in here, man. Now, what I noticed was these huge humans that was around, they surrounded this area in this club. And I'm looking, I'm going, yo, it's like a wall of humans. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't realize later on that it was a group called the Booyah Tribe that was surrounding this area. And I'm like, oh shit. So I told Ice, I said, yo, man, you know, I got Special Ed with me. He was like, yo, Ed, I don't know what Ed was doing. Ed went to the back. I don't know where he was bombed. I don't know what he was doing. But I ain't waiting for him. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna go with Ice. And I step into this area now while all hell is breaking loose around this area and downstairs, Ice-T, and I look and I see Kid from Kid and Play. Oh, now shit. I know Kid and Play because we on the same label. So Kid's like, yo, T.O.N., what's up? And I'm like, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, all hell's breaking loose, and they're not paying it no mind because the Booyah Tribe is like a wall surrounding this VIP area. And Ice is sitting there with a Yankees jacket. Hey, yo, man, Special K, your brother, your big brother, that's my homeboy, man. And I said, damn, Ice-T just saved my life because all hell was breaking loose out there. But no one went past that. That's my Ice-T story. You know what I'm saying? And I posted this on Twitter. It's funny because I was like, Ice ain't gonna remember this. And I posted on Twitter and Ice said, I remember that shit. So, wow. Ice-T's one of the real, that's a real dude, man. I got mad love.
Yeah, he's definitely different, bro. And I've heard a lot of damn people in the industry to say that same shit about him, that this guy is one of the most solid people. And you know, and that's love though, bro. Like that's how much of a gangster this dude really is that all that hell's breaking loose and he gives no shits about it. He know he good. You know, that's why
Ice ain't worry about nothing.
Yeah, because I know in one of his interviews, he actually said that he got dudes as big as Suge, so he wasn't tripping in LA. Like Ice was a real one, bro.
Yeah, man. Ice-T, I can tell you right now that Ice is probably, I don't even want to say one of the realest. I'm gonna say he's, you know what? Let me say one of the realest because I don't want to play my man Tretch out and everybody else. But yo, Ice is a real dude, man. He definitely held me down, and it was off the strength of somebody must have said, yo, that's Special K's little brother.
Oh, wow.
And that was what got him, because first thing he said was, yo, man, Special K's my homeboy. I told you K lived in LA for a couple of years.
Right.
And I guess he hung around, you know, Ice and all them brothers out there, you know, and that's what got me. How crazy is that, man?
That's fucking nuts, bro. But I tell you this, man, I appreciate you sharing that with us. Now I want to hear this motherfucking Pac story, man. Let's do it. Well,
the Tupac story is gonna be match short, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because unfortunately, people are gonna be like, "Oh man, I thought he had some Tupac." But I would tell you this, man. I was on 125th on what we call it 25th out here in New York, but I'm gonna say 125th in Harlem. Me and my man Ed, right, and we in the whip. I'm in the passenger seat. I ain't gonna hold y'all. And we driving down 125th. And Tretch, who's very reminiscent of Smooth B from Nice and Smooth, as far as if he sees you, if he knows you, he's gonna, yo, what's up? Like Tretch is that type of dude. He's not the type of dude to say, I was riding and seen somebody that I know and didn't acknowledge him. So I'm in the passenger side of my man's whip, and we on 125th, and we pass right by the a few feet after the Apollo. And my man's like, "Yo, somebody's trying to get your attention." I look over to the right, and it's Tretch. And so I roll over. Yo, what up, Trick? I didn't call him Trick or Tretch at the time. I'm like, "Yo, Tretch, what's up?" He's like, "Tones, what's up?" He's like, "Tone, what up, man? Yo, Pac's in town, right?" Now I'm gonna keep it 100. It may sound weird to people now, but at that time, saying Tupac was in town wasn't like the biggest deal. It was like, oh shit, I know who Tupac is, you know?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He did, you know, he got me trapped. And so what they were doing was they were filming the video for Uptown Anthem.
Damn.
For the movie Juice. But I told Tretch, because I seen Tretch before that, because I went to the audition for the movie Juice. I went there. I was like, yo, I want to be in this movie. And I left because there was like 800,000 rappers there. Just, you know what I'm saying? So I bounced. I could have played Raheem, Raheem's little brother. I don't know. But at the time, so Tretch is like, yo, Pac's in town. I was like, all right. And I guess nah, man, we shooting a video for Juice. And I was like, yo, you in Juice? He was like, yeah, man, I got a little spot with Pac. And he said, yo, come down, Tone, man, I got you. You know, and I'm like, all right. So I went down when they did the music video for Uptown Anthem. I don't know if you know about that, but that's the song for the movie Juice. Right. Yeah, I know. And this is 125th. Now, here's the thing. Tretch and them rolled with like 150 to 200 motherfuckers from Jersey. I mean, damn. Let me point. Tretch is my man. That's a real dude, but he rolled heavy. Right. So me and my boy had went down there. I seen him and I seen Pac. And I seen Pac in the scene with, that's the video for We're Gonna Break, We're Gonna Smash, We're Gonna Blow. So for people who don't know what I'm talking about as far as the song, look that up. And I seen it and I tapped my man. I was like, yo, man, I'm out, man. He's like, yo, wait, why you want to go uptown? I'm like, nah, man, it's like 1,000 motherfuckers out here. It's going to be hard to get Tretch's attention because I didn't have Tretch's number or nothing like that. Even if I did, it's not like he would answer the phone because he was in the middle of a video. So I felt funny. So that's my story of Pac. I was right there when they shot that scenes, but I didn't say, I bounced. Damn, man. Sorry, I don't have me and Pac was fighting. I smacked him in the back of the neck. I ain't got nothing. No, that's cool, bro.
I did hear
You
you
know,
mention briefly earlier in the interview that I heard you mention the name LL Cool J, bro. Now, this is one
man,
of my
that's
idols
the
personally.
homie right there.
This is one of my idols personally, man. So I want you to
Yes,
get in. Tell us how
yes.
you know LL, man.
Well, LL, I know through Rick Rubin, because when I was a baby, Rick Rubin came by the crib. Rick Rubin and some scruffy white dude and we in the Bronx now, and Rick came and not. This is how gangster Rick Rubin is. I'm gonna keep it 100 with everybody listening. Rick Rubin is gangster as fuck. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he came to the Bronx with MCA from the Beastie Boys. I didn't know it was MCA at the Beastie Boys. And rest in peace to MCA, but I'm a baby damn near. Like, I shouldn't even have been answering the door. But he came in and he was looking for my brother. That same night, you know, I got a chance to be on the microphone. And I told this to my man out in Canada, the same story. I got a chance to be on the microphone with me, MCA, and a couple of local MCs from the Bronx to just spit some rhymes. Now, as far as LL goes, Rick Rubin, damn man, you getting the exclusive, goddamn. So you better, man, listen, bro, you getting the exclusive, the exclusives. So Rick Rubin heard me rhyme, and he said, yo, I got a beat for you, man. And the beat was I Need a Beat by LL.
Oh shit.
But I'm younger than LL, so I couldn't do it because I was still in school. LL was still in school, but I guess, you know, his family was more behind him. Much love to L. And what happened was like a couple of years later, when I finally had my record deal, I ran into LL and he already knew who I was. He was like, yo, I heard your song. And so LL became like the extended homie. So to this day, LL is the homie. So the story I got with LL, just to give you the story was, I'm in Queens with my man Seville. And before LL dropped Mama Said Knock You Out, he was working on the album. And he had this song called To the Break of Dawn, where he was responding to Ice-T, MC Hammer, and Kumo D. I got a chance to hear that joint before it came out, man.
Oh shit.
And I'm sitting, LL came by in a 2-door black Porsche. He's
Damn.
like, and if you know LL, this is how he talk. Yo, what's up, man? Yo, what's up, man? You chilling, man? Yo, what's good, man? And I'm kind of just standing there going, yo, I already knew him before. I'm like, yo, because I call him Todd. I don't call him LL. I'm like, yo, Todd, what's up, man? He's like, yo, man, yo. Now, the key with LL is to never get in the car. You stand by the car, but don't get in it. That motherfucker will take off and, you know, might leave you somewhere.
Oh shit.
So this is what I was told. I'm not sure if it was true or not, but I was told that. Much love to him. So I'm standing there and I hear To the Break of Dawn and I'm like, yo, I'm hearing the rhymes. Now, what I heard was different from what came out to the public. You know what I'm saying? Like there's rhymes in there where you hear, there's a rhyme about MC Hammer and he goes, here's a little kick for that crap. Cause Sammy Davis Jr. ain't supposed to rap. He says Sammy Davis Jr. He was calling.
Oh shit.
but when it came out as my old gym teacher ain't supposed to rap because I think, you know, Sammy Davis had passed away. There's some things he said in the Ice-T verse when I was like, God damn, man. I think Ice-T might, you know, there's gonna be some problems. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
LL ain't no punk, don't get me wrong. And he, you know, Ice-T ain't no punk either. And Africa Bambaataa kind of squashed that beef. But I was almost like, yo, L, man. And then I heard Illegal Search, which is on the Mama Said Knock You Out albums. That's my LL story. My very first time of not meeting him, but a moment. I seen him at shows. I opened up and I played with him in certain shows and we took pictures, but that's my story of hearing To the Break of Dawn, which was a response dissing Kumo D, MC Hammer, and Ice-T in the same. I heard it before everybody else did, man.
Damn, man, that's Now that's some shit to think back on, bro. Because remember that fucking album,
man.
Especially at that time, man. LL wasn't scared to go at anybody. He was such a savage when he had such a battling spirit in him at that point in time that if he would go after somebody like Ice-T, and MC Hammer ain't no slouch either. That dude, he ain't nothing to fuck with.
So let me tell you something, man. Yeah, let me tell you something about MC Hammer. I may have only met him one time in the late 90s when I was a youngin', but I can tell you like this, his reputation, Hammer ain't no punk, bro. Ask Redman about MC Hammer.
That's where I got it from. I seen Redman's interview and I heard him say it. I said, damn, MC Hammer was like that.
Oh, he did an interview? Okay,
Yo, so Drink Champs, I think. Yeah, he did one on that.
Ooh, okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Redman, he should know because Redman, I heard about the story with Redman. First of all, MC Hammer's a cool dude. I ain't gonna, and so is Vanilla Ice. I'm not gonna try to play out Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice is he's actually a good dude and he knows his hip hop. So we're not gonna play either of them out. But yeah, I heard about the story with Redman. I didn't hear about it on Drink Champs or an interview, but I heard about it on the streets.
Right. Yeah, no, if Redman say the shit, then I take it at face value because Redman ain't no bullshit.
MC Hammer ain't no punk, bro. And I met him one time and, real recognized real. And I was like, yo, this dude ain't no slouch, man.
Right. So this is what I want to do, bro. This is what I want to do, man. I want to take it to you for a minute, bro. I want to know, like,
yes,
so when exactly did you get your first record deal and who was that with?
All right. My record deal was with Select Records. And I was signed. My first record deal was with Motown, actually. Oh, and I was a youngin' and I was too young to sign a contract, but I did it anyway. And Motown, shout out to Motown Records because they knew I got railroaded. There was this dude that was signing all kind of R&B and rappers from New York and keeping the bread. And when that happened to me and my mans, I hit up Motown and told them like, yo, they got me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do. And Motown Records actually excused the $10,000 deal that I had for a single. I had a single deal for $10,000. And the guy that got us the deal dipped it with the money. He did it with like maybe 30 or 40 other artists. So he dipped off and made tons of money. Damn. But my first official record deal was with Select Records, owned by Fred Mineo, who's still a homie of mine to this day. Select Records is Kid and Play, Chub Rock, those are the homies. MOP, UTFO.
Oh shit, so, MOP was on that label as well?
MOP was there after I left, but MOP's the homies too. Yes, MOP's on. That first song, the biggest song MOP ever did, well, they did a bunch of bangers, so shout out to MOP, but one of them was How About Some Hardcore? Yeah, like it raw. So that was their joint. Before they did the joint with Busta, with Annie Up. Yeah, that fool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that shit was so turned. Oh, man.
Yeah, I did a show with them in Long Island and they performed that and it shut the place down. But as far as my record deal, it started over there. With
all right, so do you remember, like, did you release a project when you were signed to that label? Yes, a project called In Tone We Trust. I had the first video was What a Brother Know, which did extremely well. Me, Intelligent Hoodlum, Tragedy, Special Ed, Kwame, shit, man, who else, man? Just Ice, De La Soul. We all did like shows together. Lord Finesse, we all was that era where it was all about lyrical ability. And my first album was In Tone We Trust. That's my first album. So let me ask you this, bro. So are you still signed to that label or did you end up getting
that was like 90s, man.
I don't know if they're still around, bro. I don't know.
No, they're still around, but I'm just saying, like, I left them back then when I was a kid, but there's no disrespect to them because
right. No, I got
Fred Mineo, who's the president, that's my man. He was like an uncle to me, man. He's a real solid dude. And he kept it 100 with me all the time. But I still stay in contact to the people that worked at Select Records to this day.
Right. Okay.
But I'm definitely not signing them. I wasn't supposed to sign with them. I was way too young. To sign. But back then there was no internet, so it's like, hey man, he could write wherever I could have signed John Brown, and they would have been. They didn't check your ID or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. So that actually leads me into this, bro. So you had the label deal. You put out your first project there, In Tone We Trust.
Sir.
it did really well. So what else did you contribute to that label in your career at that point when you were signed to them?
As far as the label goes, I didn't do anything with the label other than release my music, and I put the album out. Well, they put the album out, and it did pretty good. But other than that, I didn't like contribute like to other artists. I wanted to work with Kid and Play. I wanted to work with The Real Roxanne. I wanted to work with Chubb Rock. I wanted to work with all of them. But they were going through their shit with the label. So the time that I was there, you know what I'm saying? When I bounced, that's when MOP showed up. Well, around the time I was leaving.
Got you. So so where'd your career take you after that label situation ended for you?
I was blackballed.
Damn, man. You want to get into that?
Yes, we will, bro.
Go ahead. Let us know what happened with that.
Well, I didn't want to leave Select Records, but they kind of try to play me out with the advance money and the next album budget, but I had Next Plateau, I had Tommy Boy, I had Profile, I had Wild Pitch, I had all these labels that was offering me like, yo, come over here. But little did I know, man, my man Hollywood, rest in peace to my man Hollywood from the Hollywood Impact. He told me back then, yo, all of these dudes played tennis together and they all homies. And I was like, man, they don't know each other. Little did I know, they all knew each other. So I was getting offers from all these record labels. But once, Select found out, then that shit went out the window. So I couldn't sign with one of these labels because of that. Now, even though Fred Monell was my man, he was a good dude, there was still politics of the game.
Right.
So after I left, after Selecting was over, I was in limbo, man.
Right. So did you build your own independent brand at that point? Did you go focused in on that?
It took me all the way up to like 2007. How about that?
Damn,
and because I did the mixtape game.
Right.
I learned about actually Dipset, then G Unit, because Dipset was first. And you had G Unit making these mixtapes, and I was like, yo, I could do that. But what I did was I made mixtapes and I sold them in other countries.
Damn.
Because I couldn't compete with G Unit and fucking Dipset.
Right.
It's impossible. So I'm like, come on, these dudes are killing the streets. So everybody's thinking, oh, T.O.N.E-z, we ain't doing shit. I'm like, yeah, look at this big, just all this money I got from, overseas. So I did that for a while. And then, Fred Monell from like I said, from back then, Select Records had called me, and then we can get into the whole other thing as far as like what I did in the late 2000s.
Right, because I think you're attached to a label or a group that's called Gangsta Grass, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, that's Gangsta Grass is 50% me and 50% my man Wrench. Now Wrench, that's my man. We recorded a bunch of shit. And he one day decided to like take my acapellas and mix them over some bluegrass samples with hip hop beats.
Wow.
And turns out that the FX channel was looking for a theme song for a TV show they was doing called Justified. So
right.
That's how that happened. Wrench, hit me up like, yo, we gonna, they want to use one of our songs, but they use one of our songs for the commercial, not for the theme song, just for the commercial. And the commercial got so much love that they said, hey, you think you guys can do a theme song? And that's how that happened. So,
shit, man, that's crazy. So that's how you got introduced to the FX series. Just doing a theme song. Your man wanted to put your vocals on some hip hop and bluegrass mix and shit, and it ended up getting picked up by a TV show.
Yeah, it got picked up for like a promo, a different song for the promo, but then they heard that song and the response online was, yo, what's this sound? And it was a different sound. It was hip hop and bluegrass. And so we didn't use that song. They hit us up and said, can you guys do like, a different, a new song? And I did that song within 20 to 25 minutes lyrically. Cause my man Ren sent me the beat, just drums. I did the lyrics and he put the music around it, and they accepted it the next day, and it became the theme song for 6 seasons.
Damn, man. And so that's amazing to me, bro. That shit just happened when your man was just fucking around.
Crazy, right?
Because I gotta tell you, when I heard the theme song, bro, like hearing a New York slang, a hardcore hip hop artist over a bluegrass instrumental like that, that shit was some unique
Yes,
flavor
sir.
I've never heard before. It was crazy.
Ain't it? That's
Yeah,
crazy,
absolutely. It did something to my ears, dog. I couldn't quite pinpoint it. Like, damn, this shit sound different, but like in a good way. I can't pinpoint why I like this shit, but it was a New York vocal on that type of song. That's never happened before to my knowledge. I've never heard that in my life. That was crazy.
Exactly.
Damn, man.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely, bro. I want to get into this show though. Like, so I guess you did end up getting a part in the show, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, man. I got a little bit in there.
How'd that happen?
I got a little something in there, my brother. But I talked my way into that. Because when I seen the show, I was like, man, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna let the public know, all your listeners know, like, yo, when I seen like, how can I be a part of? Because the deal because I negotiated everything as far as the song, the music video, which I co-directed, everything I negotiated. When I said, man, I know this thing is gonna go to DVD and Blu-ray, I got to figure out how to be a part of that. And so I flew out to LA and I was just like, yo, I go right to the offices like, yo, what up? Like hitting them up. Like, it's almost like boom, boom, boom. Yo, you got some weed. It's like that type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I went out there and I put the hood tactics on not on no disrespectful shit, but I was on some respect. But I was like, yo, what up? Yo, how can we get this song? They was like, oh man, you know, that's the one thing they wasn't budging on, was giving us the rights to the DVD and all that shit. Now, but that was just for 5 seasons. So what I did was I said, man, I got to figure out how to get money from the DVD sales and all that other shit. So I talked my way into, my the producer and the writers to give me a character. Right. I don't know how I did this, my bro, but I know I did. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I spit that shit. And they was like, yo, okay, fly on out. We got something for you. So I'm in like 4 episodes, but I'm in there. And I found a way to get money, me personally, to get money from the DVDs and the streaming. So even though it's streaming right now on Hulu and Amazon Prime, I get bread from all that, bro.
Right, and it's crazy though, bro, because like I actually asked my coworker today. I was like, bro, do you ever heard of this TV show right here? She was like, yeah, that show's fucking great. Like, she's a huge fan of that shit. I was like,
man,
damn,
you gotta watch that shit, bro.
I know, I seen the trailer, bro. I'm a bookworm. I don't really watch too much TV. I know I gotta get into it. That's what
it's gangster.
Definitely.
Yeah,
it
it's
looked
gangster.
Like it from the trailer.
It ain't no soft shit.
Right, it looked like it from the trailer. That shit looked crazy. Shit. Right.
Yeah.
So, but see, I was also reading about you, bro, and I don't want to like backtrack too that much, but it says something about your first screen appearance was in Philadelphia, starring Tom Hanks.
Wow, for that. That's in the bio. All right, I was a youngin', and before I got the deal with Select, I signed to this production company, which I shouldn't have signed because I was way too young. But back then, it's like, yo, you could get away with anything back then.
Right.
Let's be real. And I signed with this production company, and I had a crush on the receptionist.
Oh, shit.
Her name was Lorna. Now, I'm a little kid coming in on some little Bow Wow puppy love shit. And Lorna was like, I love your personality. Turns out she was cool with a guy named Jonathan Demme, who his Ted Demme was his brother, I guess, but Ted Demme was like one of the guys that was working with MTV Raps. And MTV Raps was playing one of my first singles called What a Brother Know. So Lorna was like, hey, I'm gonna plug you in. So I don't know if she was just trying to hook me up because she wanted me to stop flirting with her because I was too young. I have no idea. But she was just like, yo, my friend's brother is working on a movie. It turns out Jonathan Demme seen my music video and said, hey, his office called me up and said, we're working on a movie called Philadelphia. And I was like, okay, well, what's Philadelphia about? Because I'm glad I learned this as a young kid, that I don't just do movie scenes unless it's something that's, respectable.
Right.
He said, no, it's this guy that got AIDS. I said, AIDS? I said, man, do I have to be AIDS? Or he's like, nah, just, we were towards the end of filming, so come on out. And so I had to get permission from my mother, because my mom was like, yo, what are you doing? You're a kid. What are you doing? And I'm like, nah, they want me to be in this movie. As soon as I said Denzel, my mother was like, yo, good, go ahead and go. You good? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who's out there in Philly? I was like, nah, I got peoples out there. So God bless Lorna, she plugged me into that, and I went out there and I was on the set at an actual hospital in Philadelphia. It was the last 2 or 3 weeks of filming. Now, Jonathan Demme was like, okay, let me, he didn't speak to me. I didn't have an interview with him or nothing. He just went off the strength of Lorna. So when I got out there, I got on the set, and there's all these extras, and extras be acting like they're like billionaires, and they were all like, me. They're doing all of these exercises, and I'm kind of just, I'm in the corner on some hood shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Then this young lady comes in, and she's like, hey, where's T.O.N.E-z at? And then I'm like, hey, I'm here. And there's like 30 extras, like, who basically looked at me like my name was Stanley or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Who, when this chick came in and said, yo, where's T.O.N.E-z? I walked out, and as I was walking out, I could hear, well, who's he? So it turns out that Jonathan Demme wanted to meet me. So when I went out there, he was like, hey, man, Tone, how you doing, man? Lorna told me about you. I'm sorry. This is like the end of the film. I wish I would have seen you earlier. You got a good look. We could have did this, yada, yada, yada. And so all I can hear the extras like, who's this guy or whatever. So he says, hey, man, my thing was like, yo, where's Denzel at? Because my mother's going to lose her mind. Like, that was my main thing, was thinking about my mother, because I'm a mama's boy. So I'm like, I gotta see Denzel. I seen Denzel, and it was mad corny, because he said, here's Denzel, and I said, hey, Denzel, man, how you doing, man? My mother's a big fan, and my name is T.O.N.E.z. I know your mother didn't name you T.O.N.E.z. That's what he said.
Oh shit! And
so of course the Bronx, New York came out at me. I was like, what? Man, your name sound like an aftershave lotion, Denzel. Man, I started snapping on the dude.
Damn. And
so what happened was I'm here giggling from the other room. Denzel, like, he left. He was mad because I shitted on him, because I was like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, I got respect for you, but you talk that shit, I'm gonna shit on you. So he bounced. He like held up the scene, and then I heard laughing from this room, and I walked in the room, and it was Tom Hanks. So I walked in, and I'm like, he's like, I was apologizing. I was like, yo, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean for the hood to come. Tom Hanks said, yo, you know what? He shouldn't have said that to you. But what you said was real funny. After shave lotion, Denzel. So Tom Hanks thought I was funny. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
Tom Hanks.
What
he gave me his
fuck?
phone number. He's like, yo, here's my number. Like, give me a call type shit or whatever, right? And so after 2 hours later, Denzel decides to come out, right? And he shot the scene again. You know who I was cool with the whole set for 2.5 to 3 weeks? Guess who I was cool with? I was cool with Antonio Banderas.
Oh, that was my man. Oh, shit.
That was now I'm gonna tell you something. He can speak 5% English. He was horrible back then. Right. But I'm from the Bronx, so I got that Spanglish from my Boricuas and all that. So I'm able to speak that shit, but it was not. He speaks like proper Spanish. I'm speaking English Spanish. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just to give you a heads up, but no, look, I don't want to shit on Denzel, but I don't know if he had a bad day or whatever, but he tried to play your boy, and I wasn't having it. And Tom Hanks thought it was funny. I just thought that was cool.
That is crazy that Tom Hanks.
That's real shit, bro. That's 1 billion% real shit.
Holy shit, man. Yeah, you ain't
I hung out with Tom Hanks in that room. Tom Hanks was in his makeup because he was dying of AIDS in the movie.
Right.
And so on the scene, I'm like, it didn't dawn on me till like way later, till after the movie came out, and it was like on DVDs and shit. I was like, people was like, yo, I seen you, man. Because you can see me at the end of the film. It's not like I'm physically not in there. But it was towards the end, so they didn't have any lines for me. But as far as Antonio Banderas, we hung out for like 3 weeks on the set in Philadelphia.
My mom has the biggest crush on that man.
Say what?
My mom's has the biggest crush on Antonio Banderas, dog. You can't tell her shit about that man.
Yo, he's a solid dude, man. He was so cool, and I can't explain it. He instantly was like, I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but he said some things about Denzel in Spanish that I understood, because when that happened, it was the scene towards the end when Denzel comes in after all the trial and all that shit, and he came in to see Tom Hanks after he was in the room and he was dying. So at the end of the film, you could see me walking in there with my flat top and all that. But before that, that's when Denzel like held the setup. Now, Jonathan Demme and Ted Demme both passed away, which when Jonathan passed away, it hurt me because I really knew him. Ted Demme, I didn't really know that well, but he's the guy behind Ed Love and Dr. Dre, Yo MTV Raps. They started all that together.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but Jonathan Demme, he's behind what you call it? Philadelphia, Silence of the Lambs, all those big movies. That's Jonathan. But that was my man, Jonathan, man. When he passed away, I felt that shit.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. Rest in peace to that man there, man. So I want to kind of, we're going to keep it pushing here, man. This is some great shit right here. So I want to kind of fast forward a little bit to 2016, man, where you had a record that came out called Check My Fresh, right? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you got linked up with a mega remix producer named Brad Walsh, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, Brad's a good dude, man. I met Brad Ross, man, out in Manhattan, man, and he did, man, this dude has done production and remixes for like Britney Spears and like big names like that. So we met at this party down in Manhattan, this show, and me and my peoples went back to his crib, and he was like, yo, we got to do something. And so what I did was I did something on his project, and then he did he did the song with me. He did the chorus. So shout out to Brad Ross, man. He's a good dude, man. He worked on a lot of remixes, Beyonce and official remixes, not just some random DJ shit. Like he's
right.
He's an official dude. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him.
All right, so now I want to ask you about this, bro, because see, people don't know about me. I'm very eclectic when it comes to music. And if I'm not mistaken, you also did some work with rock and roll legend Tommy James, right?
That's extended family. Tommy James, I remember I told you a little while ago that I was cool with my man Fred Maneo from Select Records when I was a baby, damn near.
Right.
He's the one that plugged me into Tommy. I already knew who Tommy James was, but Tommy was there's a film coming out, and he's working on a new album, so I did some cuts on his new album. And I also Tommy James has an album called Alive. One of the tracks is a remix of one of Tommy's platinum plus selling songs called Dragging the Line. And on that remix, Stevie Van Zandt, who is from the band Bruce Springsteen, he's the guy that plays with Bruce. He played on it. So
holy shit.
I'm on a song with legends, so I'm losing my mind. So yeah, that's for Tommy's album. So yeah.
Holy shit, man. Damn, exactly, bro. So see, I'm just trying to keep this pushing through, bro, because you got some great shit, dog. So now, we're gonna be jumping.
This is gonna be like a part 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. I don't know, but go ahead.
No, I mean, we're gonna try to keep it. We're gonna try to just not do too much. You know what I'm saying? But we got to give it to them, man. The listeners want this shit, bro. So I also want to get into this because I'm also a huge bookworm, man, and I believe I read it in 2020. You linked up with best-selling author Stephen Miller. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
What happened with that, and how'd that come to be, man?
That came through Tommy James because I went to his manager, Carol Ross. That's his publicist. And shout out to Carol, man. Love Carol to death. It was a Christmas party at Carol's crib, and I met Stephen Miller there. and he's a best-selling author who did a book on Gene Cornish from the Rascals. He did a best-selling movie on him, and I met him there, and he was like, "Oh, you know, maybe you should do a book," and then we chopped it up, and so that we like 5 or 6 chapters in on that one. So shout out to Stephen for that. But that's all through me meeting Tommy James. That's how I got a chance to meet Stephen Miller.
Damn, man.
Man.
So you actually did do a book with Stephen Miller, right?
Well, we're working on it. It's not finished. But
okay, got you.
I do have a poetry book, which I know you want to go too fast forward, but it is connected. I do have a poetry book that I put out, and Stephen actually helped me a ton with that because I didn't know what I was doing, and I actually have a ebook out right now, of my poetry. But that's, you know, I just wanted to point that out. I know you wanted to get to that, but it's so connected to Steve that I wanted to point that out there.
No, absolutely, bro. So I kind of want to touch on this as well, man, because this is actually kind of some deep type of shit that I seen you was involved in, man. Now there was a documentary, I think it's called Chose Life.
Yeah, I Chose Life. Yeah.
Right. So tell me a little bit about that, man.
Well, that's not even my thing. That's Jackie Blue. I love Jackie, man. I love Jackie to death. That's Jackie Blue's baby right there, man. She did a film. She put together a documentary on suicide and suicide awareness.
Right.
And it's I Chose Life is like, you know, as basically as opposed to choosing, you know, death. I chose life. Like that's basically what it is. So right. It is out right now. I mean, you know, it's available to stream and all that. Jackie, which I love Jackie, she, you know, put this whole thing together, and I'm a part of it because I told a story about a friend of mine, as well as myself, but a friend of mine who actually, you know, unfortunately took her life. And that's a deep documentary, man. I really do want everybody to check that out, man.
Right, that's why I brought it up, bro, because that's over here on my show. I like to put out, you know, shit that people can really resonate with and get some perspective on my show. So I wanted to really mention that because suicide affects a whole shitload of people that we don't even know about, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
You know, that shit's real. That shit's real. So just want my listeners to know that that's out there for them to go view, so they can get a, you know, perspective on that whole situation. That's why I mentioned that, man. So, you know, yeah. So anyway, man. So you and Tommy James, right? So yeah. So you guys known each other for a good little while, I would assume. So how was
about 5 or 6 years, man. Yeah,
right. So definitely. Did you ever get to perform live with him?
Well, I've been to his shows, and I may have like stepped on stage, but unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to perform, man. But hopefully, once all of the madness stops, you know, we will be able to. Yeah.
Right. I was going to ask you, did you ever perform with like a live band before? Like, because I always ask artists that shit because I always want to.
I'll perform with live bands, but I haven't performed with Tommy's live band. But I'll perform with live band. But that was like people I can't even remember. That was way back. Yeah.
Okay, got you. So you've been around it though. Okay, good. That's dope, man. I like artists to get involved with live band shit. That's part of music, man. A lot of these young artists should get in tune with that, you know. So let me ask you this, man. So now I want to get into more of T.O.N.E, man. I want to know now this is jumping forward or whatever, but this is all you, and I want to know about this, bro. My listeners need to know about this too.
Let's go.
So in March, you have you released a new album, right? Called Follow the Yellow Rose. You want to get into that?
Well, yeah, man. Follow the Yellow Rose, man, is I released the album prior to that for the bluegrass hip hop called Fog of War Part 2. But Follow the Yellow Rose is like, it's a real deep thing, man, because there's how I came up with that title, this is gonna be, I gotta get into this. All right. So there's a band out of a grunge punk band out of Seattle. Not that they were born in Seattle, but they're based out of Seattle, called the Gits, Gits. And I knew about them, but there's a young lady who was the lead singer called Mia Zapata. And she was a lead singer, but it was almost like some Janis Joplin type of thing where she had this soulful, she's you know, a white girl, but she had this soulful voice and energy about her over, you know, rock and guns and grunge tracks, which intrigued the hell out of me back then. And the sad but you know, the sad story is Mia Zapata unfortunately passed away because she was murdered. I don't want to get into how she was murdered and all of that, but I will say this. I'm a big fan of the Gits, which was the band that she was a part of, and I'm a big fan of Mia Zapata. And what happened was I wanted to switch from just rapping over beats to doing something different. And since I'm a fan of course, I grew up on the Temptations, Motown, and you know Gladys Knight and all that. But I'm also a fan of you know Aerosmith and Oasis and Janis Joplin. I'm also a fan of that.
Hell yeah.
So as far as that goes, Mia Zapata, I'm a big fan of hers. You know, rest in peace. To her, I decided to kind of do something different. And so I watched the documentary on the Gits on Amazon Prime, and I was like, man, let me check this out, because I already knew about them, but I didn't know in depth. And I knew about how she passed away. I'm not going to talk about that right now. And for people who loved Mia and loved all the Gits and that genre, they will understand and respect why I'm not getting into it. But I will say this, is that at her memorial, her dad flew into Seattle to, you know, I guess to go to the, you know, to the memorial or whatever. And since he's not from there, he didn't know where to go. And so Mia's favorite flower was a yellow rose. And so what happened was, since they were lost, one of the people in the car said, hey, look at all of these people walking with these yellow roses. And her father said, hey, let's follow the yellow rose and we'll find out where the spot is to go see my daughter's memorial. And that's where I came up with the title.
Damn, man, that's some deep shit for the title of the album,
You
bro.
probably like, this dude went from Melly Mel to Follow the Yellow Rose. I know, man. This is real shit, man.
Nah, bro, I do appreciate you sharing that with me, though, man. But I do want to do this, bro. See, this is the thing right here, man. I like to keep my shows. I mean, this is the longest interview I've ever done, man. And
we gonna do part one, part two.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna. We're gonna have to split it up because you got a hell of a run, my man. We're gonna have to definitely split it up. I do appreciate you so much, man, for coming on the show tonight and you know involving yourself with the Loner Lounge podcast, man. Thank you so much for that. Anybody listening, man, go to tonesworld.com. All right, that's
man, because I got to jump off here in a sec, man. But I wanted to. What I will do is this, man, because I know where this is going. I want everybody, man, just look, man. It's not about, even though it may be about me, it's not about me, man. It's about my man right here. And I want everybody to look, man. You can check out my story and share it, but please support this brother, man, because, you know, clearly you can front like, oh, I'm new to this, but you know what to do. You know what you're doing, man. And so I want everybody to support you. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all could show me love if y'all want, but the main thing is to support this brother right here, man. That's what it's all about.
Bro, that means a hell of a lot coming from a man of your caliber, bro. I appreciate the shit out of that, man. We're definitely gonna have to be back with other parts to this for all my listeners. I'm sorry to cut it short. Y'all gonna hate me in the comments and the inbox.
They're not gonna hate. They gonna love it, man, because you're a real one, man. And we can do it. Yo, bro, I got you. I don't care if I'm quadruple platinum, whatever. Yo, man, I got plaques on my wall, but I'm just saying, right, I got you, man. I'm not on no Hollywood that, bro. Nonsense, man.
Hey, man, T.O.N.e-z is a solid dude, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, bro. We're definitely gonna have to continue this another time, man.
Yes,
this
sir.
is the Loner Lounge podcast, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I will see y'all on the next one. We'll definitely have T.O.N.e.z back, man. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah, man. Peace.